Good morning, everyone. Happy Mental Health Monday. Happy Monday. Good morning. I am so happy that you guys are back for another week and another day to continue learning on how to take care of your mental health. Good morning. Remember, for this month, we are continue talking about healthy coping skills. So for today, I bring another healthy coping skills, and I'm going to talk about what it is, how we can do it. I'll give some example. I hope last week you guys learned about boundary, and I hope you guys invested a little bit more about boundary, because I understand my video was very short last week and we're also keeping it very short this week. I just want to bring it to you guys, and then you guys can go ahead and do investment. You can invest it in books, you can invest it in other videos that's in YouTube and podcast that's in YouTube to talk about the subject. You can Google it with article, but I want to bring it to your self-awareness. So today we have another nice and short coping skills that we're going to be talking about. But before we go, you guys know, for those of you who do not know, every week in my video, I am challenging you guys to find something to continue taking care of your mental health. It can be an action, it can be a techniques, it can be skills, it can be mentally, physically, spiritually, socially, something for you to do so you can continue taking care of your mental health. So what did you guys do last week to take care of your mental health? What did you do? While you're thinking and reflecting on what you did last week, I want to share with you guys what I did last week to take care of my mental health. As a therapist, when I'm in the therapist role, I normally put the hat of listening. So I put the hat of listening, reflecting, listening, and later on I'll tell you guys what that is. But my role is to really listen and reflect and understanding exactly what that person is saying and what they're saying without saying. So that's one of my roles. However, in my personal life, I don't do a lot of listening. I'm going to admit that. In my personal life, I'm so talkative. I am so extrovert. So sometimes I talk more than I listen. So last week, I decided to implement it on waiting before I speak. And throughout the week, I will pause. Even if someone asks me a question, even if someone's saying something, I will pause. I'll give myself at least 5 seconds to pause and think before I mention. And this week I went to the clinic. I went to the hospital with my dad just for a physical checkup, for the annual checkup. And I used the techniques, and I ended up getting some compliment with his doctor using the techniques. So he was asking me a question, and I paused and I answer. And he's like, "You seem very intuitive. You seem very calm. You seem very, like your presence." So my presence wasn't anxious. My presence wasn't talkative. So I really liked it. I enjoyed it. I enjoy pausing. I enjoy taking it in when someone asks me a question, even if the question was, "How are you?" And I pause and I'm saying, "You know what? I'm actually feeling very optimistic today. I'm very hopeful." And when I pause, I realize my answer was deeper. My answer was thoughtful. I was really present in the conversation. Although I do it a lot in my professional role, but I haven't done it a lot in my personal role. So I was so happy that I was able to do that, and I wanted to continue doing it because it was a great technique. So that's what I did last week to take care of my mental health. I wait before I speak. I give it 5 seconds. What about you guys? What did you guys do last week to take care of your mental health? So while you guys are thinking and you're reflecting, let's get into it. So today, the safe coping skills, the healthy coping skills that I brought for you guys today is grounded. A lot of you guys might hear that before. A lot of you guys might hear grounding before. So what is grounding? How do we define grounding? Grounding is a strategy you use to detach from emotional pain. So it is a set of simple strategy to detach from emotional pain. Some people see grounding as a distraction. Some people see grounding as a healthy distraction. Some people see grounding as a healthy detachment. Some people see grounding as a safe place. I hear some people use it as in center, like find your center, find your safe place. So there is different type and different ways you can do grounding, but the whole point of grounding is that I need to detach from this emotional pain that I'm experiencing. So it works like you focusing on the reality, you focusing on the present, you focusing on what's outside than what's inside. So like if some stuff is going through inside of you, so like the inward, you focus more on the outward, you focus more on the external things instead of the inward things that's going on. So there is healthy ways to do this detachment, and there's unhealthy way. And I apologize if I'm going to trigger anyone with my next statement, because I understand there's a lot of individual that's listened to me that's been sexually abused. So sometime, let's say if at the moment you are getting sexually abused, you're getting raped, some individual get detaching just so they can cope, so they can deal with what's happening to them right there. So you can see some individual, they literally like out of themselves and get and and they stay in the abusing. That is very unhealthy detachment. That's not grounding. We call that disassociate. And there's individual that we diagnose with the disassociative, and that's when they are going through some major pain and they want to detach from it, and they get out, they disassociate, they split themselves. So that is a unhealthy part of detachment. So when I'm talking about grounding, I'm talking about the healthy piece of it. I'm talking about the healthy detachment. It's like when you are experiencing with this overwhelmed emotion, when you're experiencing with this heavy emotion, like this emotional pain, and you are trying to gain control. You're trying to gain control of what's going on, and you're trying to gain control of your reality, of your present. Then you use the detachment techniques. You use those strategies so you can get relief from those emotional pain, from those overwhelmed feelings. So that's why a lot of individual grounding. That's why a lot of therapists teach grounding. I used to teach grounding techniques a lot when I was working with trauma population, when I was working with PTSD patient, when I was working with substance use. Oh my God, substance use grounding techniques help a lot because sometimes they have the craving of the substance. They want it. So when they ground themselves, that sensation, they are able to detach from that sensation. With population of self-harms, I teach the grounding techniques. There is different ways of grounding. There is different ways of grounding. There is mental grounding. The mental grounding, it's when you use your mind to detach. So for example, if like, let's say my mother passed away. Thank God my mother is still alive. Let's say my mother passed away 3 years ago. And then the overwhelmed feeling just take over. And then let's say I am in a public or I'm at work and this overwhelmed feeling just take over me. So I can use mental grounding to get a little bit relief from that emotional pain. An example of mental grounding, it's let's say I start counting. That's actually a mental grounding. Let's say I start counting backward. I start saying 100, 99, 98. So that is mental grounding. It's when you use your mind to ground yourself. And then there is physical grounding. Physical grounding, it's when you use touch. You use that sense of touch to be able to ground yourself. Like for example, some people hug themselves, some people touch themselves, some people touch their animals, some people touch their hair, some people touch their nails. For me, for some reason, when I do physical grounding, sometimes I take off my nails. So some people do those type of physical grounding. Sometimes some people hold on to something. I know sometimes for me, like when I do speech, when I'm doing speech or when I'm doing presentation, I like to grab something that meaningful to me and I rub on it. And sometimes it can even be my necklace. Sometimes it can be my necklace. Sometimes it can be my watch. Sometimes I can put something in my pocket and then I put my hand in my pocket and I'm touching it. So something physical. For some people, like when they have self-harm, even running their hand under some water, they can physically grounding or holding onto ice. So it's when something you're doing physical, and then sometimes you can describe it. Like right now I'm touching my clothes. I'm like, okay, my dress feels very soft. The material, it's not cotton, it's not silk. So that's how you kind of doing physical grounding. And the other way of grounding, it's actually soothing grounding. In soothing grounding, it's when you're saying kind things. You are, even like when you're listening to your nice music. I'm one of those people who love soothing with like quiet music. I don't like loud music. Even if you're reading, I love soothing that way too. And when you're reading and you literally saying the words to yourself. Another way of soothing, it's affirmation. So when you are saying kind things to yourself, like when you worship, that can actually a technique of soothing. I don't know about you guys, like if you are going through something that's very emotional, painful, sometimes I will have a song and that song will lift me up. So that's actually soothing techniques and soothing grounding. Some of the benefit of grounding techniques is it's relieves sadness. It's helped, like I said, with a lot of patients with PTSD, substance use, self-harm, anxiety, stress relief, suicidal thoughts, suicidal ideations, substance craving, when you are craving addiction. Sometimes grounding even help with people who's dieting. I do in my clinic right now, I do a lot of work with adolescents with grounding techniques. when they're craving certain food that's not healthy for them. So they can do mental grounding, they can do physical grounding, they can do soothing grounding, like, saying that, I got this. Even if you say things like, I got this, that you can do soothing grounding. So this is where I'm going to end my video for today. I know this video is very short. My goal actually is to keep my video very short. I do not want my video to be like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, because I know people got things to do. So 10 to 15 minutes, that is really my goal for a video. We always end a video with a dose of self-care. So I'm going to read what our dose of self-care say for today. Our dose of self-care for today say, be bold, be happy, be you. I think this is very to the point. Be bold, be happy, be you, be yourself. Thank you so much for all of you guys that always turn in, that's watching me, that is sharing, that is liking, that is comment. I hope that this topic this week help you in your journey of taking care of your mental health. Have a great Monday, everyone. Have a great week. I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.